All right, now while any defects on here are drying, I've got this puttied and it's drying up, and I don't want to touch it until it is dry. We need to hack off the ends. Now, if you remembered to hack these to length before you glued and assembled, great. That'll save you the step. It's just about 3/4 of an inch sticking out. But if you didn't, and I need to hack this off, just take a chunk of wood that's about the right thickness, put it here, and you're going to actually use a handsaw. And I know we don't use the handsaws very often, but you're just going to use that as a guide to get that going and hack the end off. Now, as it's getting close to the end, take your time and don't push hard, because what I'm trying to avoid is this last little bit to break off instead of being hacked off. I would rather it be sliced off with a saw and then I can sand it. If it breaks off and you get tear out, there's not much I can do about that. So flip it around and do the exact same thing on the other side. I grabbed a dowel out of the back, 1/4 of an inch. Now the jig we're going to use on this one to cut is found right here behind it. And it just simply fits in this little groove, this notch. Okay, so what I want is to set this to bump into my stop. Usually it's set much lower and you're bumping into this, and that's no good. You won't actually cut. So you unscrew, raise it to about here, tighten it back up, and then that's where it stops. That's the stop. Now on this little jig, we use this for pieces for dowels for the wooden safes, but it works just fine. I have a 1/2 inch cut here, 1 inch cut on this black line, and a 2 1/4. I want 1 inch, 2 of them, 1 for each end. So you just stick this in the hole, and again you can see right there, up to 1 inch, and go ahead and cut. That prevents you from going so far that I'm going to pull the blade back when I back up. Back up the same place, and we're done. Please hang this back up when you're finished, and we can put in our dowels. With the ends hacked off, and you've got your tool dowels ready to go, we need to drill holes in each end. Make sure it's centered, which it is. I moved it so that it's in the center. We're going to take a 1/4 inch drill bit and put it right at the edge. Now I'd like this to be tight. I don't want a lot of left and right movement, if at all. So I'm going to try to keep this as tight as I can. So get it centered on your piece, lined up straight with the edge of this. So it's not angled one way or the other. And there we go. I'm going to make sure it's in the right place. And then start cutting your hole. So get the hole started. So I've just barely gone in. Now I'm going to push it out of the way so I don't ding up or mar this surface, and start cutting. Now before I go all the way through, I know that this drill bit is going to tear out as it comes through. So we're going to use that same piece of stick of junk that we found in the trash and just go into it. And there we go. That allows us to get a nice clean hole out the bottom so that we don't have to worry about it anymore. All right, flip it around and let's do it again. Make sure that you line up this hole that you've already done right on the edge so that when I drill this one, it stays tight. So line it up again. Okay, pull it out and drill through. Now, if your dowels are fairly tight, and these should be, you won't really need any glue at all. You can just tap them in, either with a hammer or whatever. A lot of times you can just take this piece of wood and push. But if you do feel like it's too loose, pull it out, put a little glue on it, and we're talking just a little. You don't need much, and just push it back in again. Push this in. And I may, if all goes well actually, I'd like to have to pull this in to put the dowel in. That ensures that this is going to be tight, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want any left and right, and that's exactly what I want. So again, if it's loose, glue it, stick it back in, and then we can move on from there.